Hi guys, welcome to another Vlogging Corner video, and in this video we're just going to do a couple of bits in Havant and I'll be able to update you along the way. So one of the things I wanted to look at in particular as I'm walking down the street of Bedhampton, one of the things that I wanted to do in particular was I had an email from Vision Express which then invited me to extend out the loan for my eyes. So I've already got two pairs of transition lenses. So I've got one that goes blue, which is these pair. That's this pair. And then I've got a pair of DPIDs which go purple. Now, the one thing I wanted to look at was getting another pair of transition lenses. And then what I'm going to look at doing eventually, because I've got three pairs of glasses, is I was going to try and recycle a pair as well. Now, if I'd have thought about it, I would have bought with me the pair that I was looking to recycle, which would have been what I would have got with my free prescription. But let's see what we look at. Let's see what happens as I unfold the mysteries of that. And then I've also got to go into the Meridian Centre because I need to do something at the chemist. Well, I might see if I can do that at the medical practice as well, which is an easier thing to do, and I'll update you on that as well. That'll probably be the first thing that I do because it's my medical practice is closer than Tesco is. So I'm going to go into Tesco and do that as well. And also you might have noticed I'm using my camcorder this time instead of my phone. I mean, look at that. The view from behind me is amazing. So that I've been living in this part of Bedhampton now for nearly 10 years. The longest time I've ever lived in a flat, and it's been raining as well, which makes things even more interesting. I've just got a bit of water in my sandal. So I'm just going to cross here and I will keep you updated as according to what happens during that time. Join me back in a bit after this. And I'm back, and I've just been to my local pharmacy, and I've just been redirected to another pharmacy. I'm going to speak to my cousin about that because she sorts all this stuff out for me. But I was just looking to get myself put onto a Nomad system, so it makes it 10 times easier for me to sort my medication out, and it means it saves me the stress of having to do that sort of thing myself, because 9 times out of 10 I either forget or something else crops up and I don't exactly get round to it. So I'm constantly needing the reminders to set my medication up. I've also set some bits up on my phone, some reminders on my phone as to when to take my medication, which that's not so much of a problem. So what we're going to look at this point, that's that taken care of and out of the way. My next stop is Tesco. I'm going to nip into Tesco and inquire about extending my glasses loan, my eye care. and then I'll see if I can recycle a pair of glasses. But join me back in a bit and I'll update you on that as well. I'll also pay a visit to a couple of pharmacies that will allow me to sort that stuff out about the medication. Join me back in a bit after this. And I'm back, and well, it's just a bit of an update as to my eye stuff. So I went up to see if I can get my eye loan extended, but because I had more failed payments than what actually went through, it declined, which isn't a problem. I'll just keep on doing what I'm doing. So hopefully I'll be able to bring everything up to date. And with that in tow, what we're going to look at that point is I have to keep on doing what I'm doing. Now, what I did do on the other hand, just while I'm trying to avoid the rain, is I spent about 40 quid on plant-based stuff while I was there, which comes in handy because, as you know, sometimes I make the occasional plant-based dinner, and I just thought I've got all that taken care of. And yeah, what I'll do when I get in is I'll unbox, or rather should I say unbag, what I've got, and you get to see exactly what I've got. The next challenge I find is how am I going to keep my plant-based stuff separate from all my meat stuff. But that can be taken care of as I cross that bridge, or in this case, cross the road. That was perfect timing. So join me back in a bit because it's raining here in Havant and I don't really want the camera to get wet. Join me back in a bit after this. And I'm back. And what we've got here is the stuff that I bought from Tesco, 40 quid. So I've got some soy-based chicken style chunks along with some katsu tofu, which I'm going to be looking at showing. I'm looking forward to cooking with that. Got fennel, and then I've also got some mushrooms as well. 2 bags of mushrooms, and I've got some spinach and wild garlic ravioli, and some tomatoes. I also have some meat-free bacon rashers. Got 8 of those as well. There's my other bag of mushrooms. I've got some plant-based shrimp, battered and non-battered. So there's them 2 there. I've got some mozzarella and pesto escallops. They'll go nicely in the sandwich. Obviously you have to cook them first. Got 3 courgettes, which these have got to be used. Where you'll be able to cut them up and just, yeah, you'll be able to cut them up and put them into a pasta or something. And I've also got some plant-based chicken breast, along with some plant-based bacon mince, which would be rather interesting. I'm looking forward to trying that out. And I've got plant-based beef burgers. This is some beef burgers. And then I've got not 1, not 2, but 3 types of plant-based cheese. Yeah, because I've got some good uses with that. Along with some tomato pesto, which is all plant-based as well. That's that all taken care of. But wish me luck trying to put all my plant-based stuff separate from my meat stuff. Join me back in a bit and you'll get to see exactly how I go about it. Join me back in a bit after this. And I'm back. And with that in tow, let's now try and work out how exactly I'm going to keep my plant-based stuff separate from my meat. So what we've got here also is I've got bacon and cheese hot dogs. I put the other ones in my freezer because I've got the smoked pork one as well. And I've got the grated cheese, which I'm going to stick up here. Turns out I might be able to do this afterwards. But then, with that in mind, I've got to try and put these separate as well. So I've got a chive. If I can find, I'll show you. So that one's chive filly. I've got a garlic and herb one as well, along with a light one, which is going to be interesting to try and sort out. I'm able to do that. Just pop that in there along with some other soft cheeses which I've got, which I bought before I went up to my mum's. Put them in the fridge. Put that like that. So I've got some Parmigiano Reggiano. I'll stick that there. And then, along with my run of beans that I've got, which are already vegetables, I can then stick my plant-based stuff in the crisper, along with any vegetables I might have. Now, I've got a long life on these. These I think need to be stored in the cupboard. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. The storages. Doesn't say, so I'll just pop it in the fridge then, along with whatever else I've got. That will go in there, like so, and then I'll put my plant-based shrimp over here, in the middle. This is shaped up to be a rather interesting video so far, can't lie. I put my mushrooms in there. And yes, I do plan to eat this before they run out, of course. Put my tofu and my cluck chicken on there. And my burgers. I put my tomatoes on the top. And now, like I say, I've got the full fridge. Put fennel. The top stuff is for my plant-based bits. Same place as where my crisper stuff is. Well, it's the same thing as the crisper thing where all my plant-based food goes. But the question I find myself asking is, where am I going to put my fennel? I found a place for the fennel. Although, if I'm not careful, it's going to pull out the bottom shelf as well. And then I've got butter to taste as well. It's it must be plant-based because I can't believe it's not butter. That can go up there as well. That should actually go on the top. No, that's the normal stuff. My plant-based stuff will go on the top. They can actually go together. That can go on top of the butter. And there we go. Now look at that. There's my plant-based stuff there. And all my plant-based stuff in the crisper down there. Well, let me sort that out. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.